So we'll try to understand what is MVC and what are the files involved when we design an OAF page, and then we'll design a search page.
Okay.
So
Onion
yes,
MVC only.
so there are two terms we have to discuss and we have to be very clear on it. One is called OAF. OAF stands for Oracle Application F- Framework, and MVC stands for Model View Architecture. Now, and this is also called a design pattern. We have to understand what is design pattern, what is framework. So design pattern is nothing but like this one, MVC. So this design pattern is nothing but a guideline to design enterprise application. So when you say guideline, it's just a theoretical concept of telling something you have to do like this, but it's nothing but a kind of a set of principles you have to follow when you're designing enterprise application. Technically, or like as per your computer architecture, it will not have any libraries, or it will not tell you this is a file you have to use it. It simply tells you this is the guideline you have to follow. So what does MVC have? What is the architecture? So the MVC, if you observe, there are three layers in the MVC: model, view, and controller. So the concept here is whenever you design any application, you divide the application into three layers. Like let me show you one example before we understand that. Let us open our EBS instance. So I just open my EBS instance. Now here, if you observe, as a user, what are you seeing? You are seeing some graphical user interface. You are seeing some graphical user interface. Let us say if I just click on this button, what happens? It has to sign out. Nothing but this page has to respond to your action, isn't it? You got the data, and when you click on sign out, or let us say, let me open again, I'll tell you. Now let us say I opened this particular user interface page. Now I entered my user details, and then when I click on login, what it has to do, it has to validate whether this user is a proper user or not, or this credentials correct or not, right? So now you have two different buttons, login and cancel. Login will do a login functionality, cancel will do a cancel functionality. So now it has a business logic to validate, first of all, which particular button user has pressed. If user has pressed on login button, what are the details he entered in the username and password? And if they are correct, it will navigate to a other page. If it is not, it will navigate to a different page. Now let us say I'll mention the incorrect password and just click on login and see what error message. It has to display some error message, right? Login failed, please verify your information. Now let us say if I mention the proper credentials, what it will do, it will properly log into the exact page where we have to navigate. It displays that information. So now the basic logic here is, so view layer is nothing but the user interface screen which user is seeing. It is just a simple user interface what we see when you open your application. And now what is controller? Controller is responsible for handling the button events. Handling the events, it can be button event, hyperlink, image, whatever it is, nothing but to listen into the user events. It's called controller. What is model? Model layer has to deal with the business logic. Nothing but when a user entered username and password, there should be some API to validate whether what user entered is correct. If user entered is correct, you have to provide a proper response to the controller, and controller has to represent the view layer, and then you get the proper result. So that is a model layer. So nothing but model layer deals with the business logic, view layer deals with the user interface, controller deals with the events. Now this is just a guideline, but what is OAF? OAF is an implementation. OAF is an implementation of MVC design pattern. Okay, so MVC is just a design pattern. It is a guideline. OAF is a framework. When you say a framework, it will have the designated libraries to implement the MVC, a particular design pattern. Now, in our case, so when you say implemented, when you say OAF is a framework and it implemented MVC, what did it implemented? Let us see that now. Model, view, and controller. So now, as per the OAF implementation of MVC design pattern, in the model layer, we have something called business components, nothing but BC4J components, we call it as business components for Java. BC4J components. What all components are there in the model layer? We have AM, VO, EVO, VL, EVO, okay, and AO also. So these number of things are there in the model layer. Nothing but OA framework has implemented the model layer and divided them in, they categorize into these set of components. Okay.
Yeah.
Now coming to the view layer. So in the view layer, what, like as a user, like whenever you open any OA, what we see, we either see a page or a region. We just see a page or a region. It has implemented in a concept called like it, any user interface page in the OAF will be XML that will get converted to HTML at runtime. That is what OAF has implemented. Okay. Now similarly, coming to the controller layer, you have something called like if you observe carefully, the controller file. Just see this one. Any package, any preceded generated package here, if you observe, it always extends something. Now this PO header data CO, it is extending OA control implementation. Nothing but Oracle has implemented controller using a library called OA control implementation. This OA control implementation will have the required logic to identify the user events. Okay, so nothing but OA framework has designed OA control implementation. Nothing but that particular Java library. Similarly, if you observe the OA, similarly if you observe the AMIMPL file, it also implementation is nothing but design some particular file, right? Like created a file, I mean to say. You for the AM you have this one. Okay, so for each particular component, Oracle has created a specific library for the developer to use them and design their application. So it's nothing but as a developer, we does not need to write any core logic to design our application. Oracle provided good amount of libraries for us. We just need to concentrate on our business requirement rather than working on creating components. We doesn't need to worry about what is the width of a particular component should be, like how to design a button component. We doesn't need to worry about. We just need to use the existing libraries, existing components, and design our application based on the business requirement. That is what a framework is all about. Okay, now coming to the onion layer. Now here, if you observe, we have just discussed about only 3 layers, right? Model view and controller. OAF is a framework and it is implementation of a design pattern. Now what is onion layer? So onion layer is nothing but it just tells you the communication between these 3 layers. Communication between 3 layers is called onion layer. How does they communicate? Let us understand that. So now if you observe carefully, as a user, what do you open? You just open your user interface application from the browser, right? Nothing but page, we call it as. Then what do? You enter some data and then you perform an action. Which one will be called first? Like CO has to be called first. Then CO will pass the data to the AM. Then AM will pass the data to the VIVO, because AM, the data from the CO will be passed to the AM. AM has to call the respective SQL queries to validate your username password. Or maybe let us say if you want to display some data, it has to call the respective VIVO objects. And then if it is a read-only page, it will simply call the database directly. Okay, this is one way whenever you have a read-only page. But if you have a updatable page, what is the communication? A little bit different. Then what will happen is after VIVO, you will have a entity object also. Entity object will come into picture when you have a updatable page. That's the difference. When you have updatable page, you will have the entity object. Let us say, now assume that one more way I'll tell you, like initially when we designed our hello world page, we did not have controller. Still the page worked, right? This way also it will be there. This communication is also possible. Page, AM and DB, or page, CO, AM and DB. This communication is also possible. But you will not have any core business logic, right? When you are not dealing with any of the VIVO object, what is the need of working on the page, right? Most of the times you need to get some data, you need to validate some data. Obviously, you may require a particular VIVO to be considered or particular AM to be considered. Okay, so there are different communications possible, but this is a mandatory communication. Without AM, there is no way you can work on any page. Okay, now let us concentrate on designing our page. Okay, so far clear on the onion layer, or?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, now once we design the pages, maybe we'll get some more clarity.
Controller here, MVC, this controller that is different than the controller, right? This CO, right? That is different. This CO, right?
MVC is not telling you what will be your file name or something. MVC just tells you design some, like when you design any framework, follow this particular guidelines. Now OAF has designed, OAF is an implementation of MVC, and it followed the guidelines of MVC, and it is telling that in the AM I will implement OAF, I will create this file. In the controller I will create this file. In the view I'll create a .xml file. That is what it is telling.
Okay.
It provided, I mean to say, it provided those set of libraries for us.
Okay. This control is like CO, right? CO.java, that right? This controller.
Yes, this, when you talk about OAF level, yes, it is obviously CO.java.
This control handling the okay.
Handling the user events.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's design a search page in OAF. Okay. Now, when you let us design a search page to search a particular sales order. Okay. Search page in OAF for sales order. Now, what all we require when you whenever you are working on a OAF page, always divide your component, your particular set of files into 3 layers: model, view, and controller. So in the model layer, what all you require? We require an AM, obviously. We require a VIVO because we need to get the data from the query. Then the view layer, what do you require? We require a sales order page.xml. Similarly, I'll say sales order search page. Similarly, we require a controller.
Yeah.
Right? Sales order search CO. Now in the view, in this particular view page, what all we do? We require, like if you just say page layout region, this is a top level component. Under the page layout, what we require? We require a header region. I'll just say search header region. And under this one, we require one more, like a results header region. Then under this one, you'll have a table region. Under the search header region, you'll have 2 things. One is text input component, like sales order number RN, sales order number ID, and then search BTN, right? This is how we have to display. We have to create now in the AM. So in the model layer, what do you require? You require an AM. You require a VIVO, like nothing but you need to design a query select star from OE order headers all, where order number is equal to :1. So there are many ways we can design a search page. When you design a search page, you have to decide whether you want to make a parameter as mandatory, or whether you want to make a parameter as a wildcard search, or whether you want to allow a blind search. There are a number of factors we can consider. Okay. Now in our case, let us implement our functionality to make the possibility of considering not mandatory search parameter. Nothing but I don't want to make search parameter as mandatory. So what I'll do? So that first of all, try to finish the query. Okay. Try to design the query first. So now this is my order number. Let us say, as of now, I'll comment this one. Okay. Let us say. Now, if I just pass the order number, I should get a set of record. Let us say if I don't pass, still I want to get the data. Let us say I'm not passing the data. Now we'll not get any data, right? But I don't want to make my order number mandatory. So what I can do, I simply say NVL of :1, order number. So that if I don't enter the order number, I'll get all the records. If I enter the order number, I'll get only specific record. Okay.
Yeah.
So it all depends upon our requirement. Okay. So there are a number of ways we can implement, but I'm considering this way. Now AM will be using the existing one, XXMS wala, and then we create our sales order. Then we'll create VIVO and the remaining components one by one. So let us go back. I'll just close these things. Now XXMS, I'll go with XXMS workspace package. In the server package, I'll right click here, click on new view object, click on next, sales order details Vivo. Sales order details Vivo. Read only access :1. Okay. Now I'll copy this query. Okay. Next, 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 finish. Okay. Now double click on the AM. Assign the Vivo to the AM. It will assign an instance name here. Click on OK and save it. Okay. Now our business layer is almost ready. Next level, what we have to do?
AM, we are using the same AM. Same.
Yes, we are using the same AM. Next thing is on the web UI, because there is no special concept in creating AM, right? Just right click and create AM.
Yeah.
On the web UI, perform a right click, click on new, OA components and page. Now mention the page name, but make sure that your package structure is correct. Now it's showing a XXTCS1, which is the wrong thing. I'll just click on browse. I'll mention the appropriate one which I want to use it. Okay, now it got created properly. Now on the region 1, set the default properties which we generally set it. Main region, AM definition, XXMS, window title, sales order, search page, sales order, search page. Now, as of now, we have not created the controller yet, but let us create that. On the main region, perform a right click, click on set new controller, check the package structure. It obviously shows you wrong always. Set it properly. Mention the controller name, click OK. Now controller got created. Next, as per our requirement, we want to create 2 header regions, and then inside that we need to create a respective items as well as regions. Under the main region, create 2 header regions, new region. Again on the main region, perform a right click, click on new region. Okay, now there are 2 header regions created, region 1 and region 2. In the region 1, I want to name it as search header region. Search header region, search data region. I'll just say like this. Similarly, what is other one? Results header region. Region 2, I will set it as results header region, and then I'll just say sales order details. Now in the search header region, we need to create 2 components. One is text input, other one is a submit button. Under the on the search header region, perform a right click, click on new item, click on new item. And what is item name we want to consider? We want to consider it as sales order number ID. Okay, sales order number ID. Item style will be message text input. Nothing to enter in the other properties. Just in the visual prompt, mention enter sales order number. Enter sales order number. On the search header region, again perform a right click, click on new item. Set the item style to submit button. And what is the item I want to consider? I want to name it as search BTN. I want to name it as search BTN, and then prompt just mention search. So search region is almost ready. Now on the results header region, perform a right click and click on new region using a wizard. Click on next. Now make sure that appropriate application module is selected. You have to select XXAMS, and then click on sales order details Vivo. Click on next. Now change it to table region. Next, and I'll say header ID, org ID, order number, order date, request date. That's it. Click on next. Message style text, style text. Style text and finish. Okay. Okay, so as of now, we have not created any Java logic, but still let us run the page and see whether it works or not. Okay, at each and every step we have to rather than finishing everything at a time, always just try to design partial portion and always validate your page step by step. That's the best way to find out the bugs, because what happens is, let us say if you have implemented everything and if your page is not working, there is always a chance of somewhere some loophole. I think, but something we would have missed it. That's the best way is always design your partial portion and always run the page frequently to validate how it is displaying, like are there any missing kind of things. Now it displays search region, it displays sales order region, right? Obviously, anyway, no search connector will be displayed whenever your vivo is not executed. Now even if you click on search button, nothing will work out, isn't it? Nothing will work out, and it still displays no search connected only. Now what we have to do, now we have to validate our search button, get the content and pass it to the am. So now what we have to do, first of all, design the, always concentrate on business logic. Obviously we need to concentrate on everything, but first of all design the business logic, then later implement the controller logic. So now I'll click on the AMIMPL. Now what is the expectation? I need to get my sales order number from user and then pass it to the vivo. It's like input parameter, right? Let us say you have a cursor with cursor with parameters you design, right? Whenever you open a cursor, you need to pass the parameter, then only the cursor will get executed. Similarly, now we have a vivo which is based on a parameter. A parameter is, we call it as parameterized vivo. Until unless you pass the parameter, it will not work. Now I'll just say public vivo init sales order header vivo, and the naming condition here, if you observe, right, I always follow. If you're initializing a vivo, I'll prefix with init. If you are validating, you need to prefix with validate. Like that, we need to follow some guidelines. That's the best way to identify. Okay. Now sales order, what is the vivo name? Sales order head details vivo. Vivo is equal to get sales order vivo. Then clear cache vivo dot. Okay. Now there is an expectation that user will pass the sales order number. I'll just say sales order str. I'm considering it as string. Okay. Now what we need to do, vivo dot set where class, initially set it with null. Vivo dot set where class param. What we have in the where class, when we designed our query, what we mentioned, where sales order number is equal to nvl of :1 comma sales order number. That is a PL SQL concept. That is a database concept where your parameter starts with 1. But in the Java concept, it starts with 0. Java array index starts with 0. PL SQL index starts with 1. That's the difference. So here I need to consider 0. 0 comma sales order str. Then after setting the parameter, you need to execute the query. Okay. Now this method we have to call when the button is pressed. What we do now, I'll go back to my search page and find out the button name as well as the text input component. So I'll copy my search button ID, go to the CO, and in which method we have to write? We have to write the logic in this process form request, because there is some logic we have to write after user is pressing the user is raising an event. I mean to say, whenever user raises an event, so that happens only when the page is loaded. So obviously it is in the process form request. If 1 minute, seems some server issue again. One minute, let me, it should work, but yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, it is disconnected and
Yeah.
that
Yeah. So now in the controller, in the process form request, we have to write the logic, right? Hello.
Yeah. Process.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not
Okay.
miss anything. No, after that, like no, maybe just first the am dot implement. You created the method, then you came to here, right?
Yes. Yes. Correct. Nothing missed. Yes. So now in the CBO, what we have to write, we have to handle the button. So if page context dot parameter get parameter button name not equal to null, nothing but whenever user presses a button search button, if it is validated correctly, then what we have to do, we need to get the order number which user has entered and then pass it to the where we have to pass it to the AM. But first of all, you need to get the value, isn't it? So I'll just say string sales order number str is equal to page context dot get parameter, mention the ID. That's it. Now we need to get the AM instance. What we have to do, xxms business services AM is equal to page context dot get application module. Whenever page is run, automatically AM instance will be created by application server. We just need to get the instance of it. Okay. And now generally it gives a typecasting error. Just click on this balloon and then click on cast to. Okay. Then after that, we need to call our init method am.init sales order header details before. Now here, if you observe, the basic reason of creating the AM method before is because of like this only. Until you have implemented business logic, what will you write in the controller? That is why we need to implement the business logic first, and then we have to write the controller logic. Sales order number str. That's it. Okay. Now let's run our page. So the expectation is that if user does not pass any sales order number, it has to display all the data. If user enters a sales order number, it has to provide the details of that specific sales order number. Right now, let us do a blind search. I'll click on search. Okay, it displaying all the data. Correct.
Yeah.
Now let us say I'll provide a particular sales order number. I need to get the data of only that specific sales order. Clear?
Yes.
Now let us see if I mention percentile, nothing will work out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? It says some exception. Let us see what is the reason. Okay, it says invalid number because sales order number which is considered in the query, it is a pure number. The sales order number as per your this particular one, if you observe this the OE headers all, just see a description of this one. Okay, what is order number? It is number data type. But what are you entering? You are entering a percentile. So that is why it is giving a exception. Okay. So these require a special handling. As of now, we'll not deal this one, but this require a special handling. Special way of to identify whether user entered a number or a character. If it is a number, execute the query. If it is not a number, don't execute the query, display error message. Okay. Or there is other way also. What you can do is on the sales order number page, sales order search page, sales order number ID. Here we have a data type called varchar by default. You just change it to number and just observe what is the difference it will be there. If it still doesn't work, the only option is get the value, then validate whether it is a number or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say hash search. Can you see now? It automatically validated. It's not a number. We doesn't need to bother. We does not need to write any extra logic.
Yeah.
Okay. This is called form validation. This is a form validation. Right now, if you want to make it mandatory, also we can do it. Okay.
Can you go to IMPL implement? Just I have a couple of doubts.
Yeah.
always the application module come into picture in the we have to instance of that for application module only we have to take into controller, right? Control our controller class, correct? Our
You mean
controller.
to say line number, this one, right? 52.
Yeah, always we are taking the always since Vivo is attached to the application, so always the database query is handling the application module only, right? Always
Yeah.
it is.
Now the logic is, if you observe the flow again, let me tell you. See, this is very important concept of OF. Now here, if you observe, right, this is the total flow. Now in our case, we are following this particular flow. We followed this particular flow. Now the concept here is, when you run the page, first of all, a page requires an AM. Page always requires an AM. If you don't attach AM to the page, it simply says it will not even allow you to run it. It says that AM definition missing. You can try it. It simply says AM definition is missing. So that is the reason we have to attach the AM. So, but what is the need of AM? AM validates your user credentials. It will validate your, it will assign the memory allocation, a number of things it will do. That is the first thing. And then who is, see, it is a Java class. What is AM? AM is a pure Java class, but who is running it? There should be a runtime manager or nothing but application server, which is running it. When you're running a Java component, it means that you're creating an instance of it, right? You are allocating a memory to AM. So nothing but you're assigning a memory to it, nothing but you're creating instance of it. So now I need to get that particular instance of my Java so that I can get the Vivo object details, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is the reason. What are we doing? We are getting the current AM instance. We are getting the current AM instance of my page, and then get the Vivo details of that particular AM, and then perform the remaining functionality. Okay. Got it?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. No, yeah, it is disconnected. I think it
Yeah,
is.
again, it disconnected today. It is giving me good amount of issue. Okay. So that is the reason from the page, from the CO, we have to get the AM instance. Why we have to get the AM instance? You're running a page, right? I need to get the current instance object of the AM for the page which I'm running, isn't it? Now I open this page. I need to get the current object of this particular page, right? That is the reason what we have to do. We know that an object will be created with the application server. That details will be available in the page context of the CO of that particular page. Using a page context, I'm getting the instance of my AM. Once I get the instance of AM, I can get the instance of the viewers, because when your particular AM is created, it will automatically assign instance to each and every Vivo object. Even though it is not executed, it will assign a little bit memory allocation for each of the Vivo instance. So that is why what I'm doing, I'm calling my method from here, from the CO, and then I'm getting the instance of Vivo here. I'm not creating any new object of the Vivo. I'm getting the instance of the Vivo, because whenever your AM is created, whenever your AM is instantiated, automatically all the Vivo objects will be instantiated, even though the execution will not happen for those particular queries of the Vivo. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you send the AM to Vivo, right? You assign the AM.
This is the flow. This is the flow.
Yeah.
This is the flow. AM will talk to Vivo, and then Vivo will talk to database.
Yeah.
So this flow you have to always remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go to AM? Yeah, AM implementation. AM.
Yeah.
Here you wrote this method, right? Init sales Vivo. This method init sales order header Vivo. This you created your own method, or
this name is a user defined method. It can be of any name, but we generally follow a proper naming convention. Okay. This name can be any name, but we generally always follow something like init followed by your Vivo name, so that we can understand, okay, this is the initialization method of a Vivo.
Okay. So already default it got created one method, right? Here below, public sales order Vivo implementation. So
this will get created whenever your Vivo is assigned to the AM. This will get created whenever Vivo is assigned to the AM.
So same thing, you take this as object for the whatever that created default, same thing, this you take as object of Vivo, right? Same, whatever it created default, that one you take in as a Vivo as object, right? Same thing, whatever it got.
Yes, that is correct. Because whenever Vivo is assigned to the AM, it will assign an instance, right? If you remember, let me open that. See, whenever you assign the Vivo, let me click on the briefcase icon and click on here. Can you see sales order details Vivo? What it is telling? It is telling the instance name is sales order details Vivo 1.
Yes.
So whenever a method is created, whenever a Vivo is assigned, it will always create a public method and it will return the instance of that particular Vivo.
Okay.
That is why we just need to get the instance of the Vivo and then try to call a method in that particular Vivo.
Okay, you are using the same thing. Yeah, got you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So in the next session, we'll discuss about the LOV drop down. And once we are clear on the LOV and drop down, what we'll do is we'll design one more search page which involves the LOVs and drop down.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Later on, we'll discuss about the entity based object, nothing but the updatable pages.
Oh, entity, one more thing.
Yeah, that is very important concept again.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Sridhar.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks.